That's 8. You take them. I gave Pops a long, hard stare. Couldn't do anything about it, even if I tried. Lack of sleep hindered my movements, accumulated in dark bags under my eyes. Every time I tried to smile, I looked like an absolute madman. Don't be like that. A drink. I think I have some Belgian ale lying around in the fridge. That's 9. Please, I have to drive later. We were sitting together in a smoking area of a furniture workshop and counting cars at New Year's trees tied to their roofs, almost like captive beauties to an aboriginal skewer. People only started caring about the holidays right before the eve, so they were selling like hotcakes at a triple price. Some of the beauties had already exposed an inexcusable amount of bare skin. Nicholas chewed on his pipe and let out a thick cloud of smoke. I pushed a fat envelope towards him. It contained 5 years of my labour, 5 years of insomnia, as well as my endless gratitude. Seeing how reluctant he was to accept my money, I lay back in my chair. They're working in the forest again. I saw some equipment near the edge of it recently. Blasphemous. Don't spend too much time outside, a blizzard is coming. Come on, there's nothing about that in the forecast. The old man held a mysterious pause. Hey, Pops. Do you really believe in it? That's 10. Don't ya? Nah, that's in the realm of fairy tales. Do they report on fairy tales often in the press? Fear takes more hills for mountains. It's just your average bear. Reporters will eat up anything, since they can rarely scrape even 6 pages worth of material. What about the second crew and the third? All of them scared shitless by an average bear. Also, go tell that to those hunks who went in armed to the teeth and came back with tails between their legs. 11. Well, you lived there, so you tell me. Where were you at the time? Maybe I was, maybe I wasn't. Hard to tell. Why'd you ask? Got a fright? I'm just curious. If you bear no ill will, you have nothing to fear. I'm not scared. I'm telling you. I lazily waved the old man away. During my 5 years living in the forest, I have never encountered anything supernatural, but I did meet a lot of bears. They were the real threat. Will you take it or not? Nicholas ignored my question. 12. You said your ma will be coming for a business trip. Where is she? She's already been in town for 2 days. I hesitated for a moment. Oi, what's wrong? She's always too busy. Do you think there's much work for a lawyer in the county? Hell if I know. We barely talked. Even though I call her a number of times, I also have no idea what she's saying. Can't even go pick her up. She said she'll come by a corporate car. Tired of this and I don't want to seem clingy. She was the one to suggest celebrating New Year together though. And I thought she was lonely at first, acting like a happy fool, and now I'm convinced it's just her guilty conscience. Don't fret, every parent is lonely without their child. I'm as cold-hearted as they get, but I still miss my offspring. It'll be alright once you meet her. What was it, 13? Then why don't you contact that offspring of yours? Nicholas scratched his beard. My son and his wife, every earthly blessing upon her, are my total opposite. They lack in forest spirit, you see. They abhor living in the wilderness among us rednecks. And I don't intrude. My granddaughter's always more than enough for me. Wonderful lass now. That's where my blood flows deep. The boyish, rebellious, hands of gold. She's around your age. I already knew all of that. I've worked with Pops for years. He told me a myriad stories. Half of them involved that girl. Nicholas let out a dreamy sigh. I wonder what she looks like right now. Does she remember riding on Grant's back? Probably. Childhood is the most memorable part of one's life. The old man started reminiscing, but I had no desire to join him. Tapped my finger on the table. 14, just take it. Cut it out, will you? Be as mad as you like, but I just can't sleep well knowing I have such a huge debt to pay off. Truth be told, my debt to this man was undescribably large, but I was hell-bent on returning the monetary part of it at the very least. The house is a gift. The money is also a gift. Declining a gift on New Year's Eve is, in your own words, a blasphemy. You little bugger. He shot me a look full of distrust, and I fabricated the sorriest expression I could muster. All right, but not a penny more, you hear. Finally, I heaved a heavy sigh of relief. That's not the right sigh, it's missing a letter. I don't need to be such an ass about it. My last bit of strength left me as the air left my lungs, and I stopped resembling a human being altogether. I spread all over the chair like an amoeba, half asleep. Guess I'll be celebrating alone this year. So, I promise you though, as soon as that woman disappears like she always does, I'll bring the box of the best cider I can find, and I'm not going to leave until we finish it. Who did you just call that woman, you numbskull? I remember picking up a little crybaby who always missed his mummy. What was his name again? Alright, Andrew. Alright, I get it. Don't worry, I have my own business to attend to. On the eve, I'll just get into my old costume and treat children at the square to some candy. Could hardly part my eyelids. We just kept passing by the window and I'd already lost count of them. 17? 19? Nicholas had also forgotten about our little game. Just don't do anything illegal, okay? I won't be able to get you out of jail tonight. Nicholas burst with laughter. I was ready to be absorbed into the chair, and the only thing keeping me above its surface was a particular feeling I couldn't suppress. Hey, Pops. Thank you. What are you talking about? I mean, seriously, thank you. He went silent for a moment, seemingly embarrassed, then tapped my shoulder. Rest a bit. Be sure to wake up later. You did a damn good job. And at that point, I fell asleep. Boy, baby boy, get up. You should go before it gets dark. It felt like I spent at least 2 hours dreaming away. Here, take this. A key to the cellar. It's full of old junk, but you'll also find some holiday stuff there, toys and such, to make your guest happy. Maybe even strike up a decent conversation while getting the tree all pretty. Well then, see you next year. And I took off. The seats felt freezing cold, especially after getting out of that warm, comfy chair. The truck's heater was barely enough to save my hands and feet from growing numb. So, there you go. From all the places I visited in my life, this town, the coldest in the whole country, and full of worn-down huts and small apartment complexes, extended me the warmest of welcomes. Let's save. Oh, I missed that one. From all the places I visited. Oh! Does that mean that's saved now? Indeed. Yeah. From all the places I visited in my life, seemed to have given me the ability to repeat exactly what I just said. The extreme cold was nothing out of the ordinary here. There was a single moment somewhat warm month for the entire year, and the other 11 you can characterize as severe frost or freezing cold. The people here were hard to read. They seemed rude at first glance, but were actually very open and strong-willed, with boiling blood, as tough as the local weather. They cried and laughed equally as loud. They supported and taunted each other, like one close-knit family. Though I spent most of my time either in the house or in the middle of the forest or at the old man's workshop, I really liked to visit the market or the hockey field from time to time. They were always crowded, and everything there left an impression of sincerity and hospitality that you won't be able to find anywhere else in the world. Every New Year's Eve, the main and only prominent street was decorated with lights of all sorts. Storefronts were plastered with paper snowflakes, the kind kids made in kindergarten. A giant tree and an ice town would be set up in Central Square. A town that could last up to half a year thanks to the cold and polar nights. Stalls with all sorts of hot drinks and food also grew up around the town, like mushrooms after the rain. And the children, along with their not-so-sober parents, rode into reindeer carriages. That's not what that says. And children, along with their not-so-sober parents, rode in reindeer carriages. Not into. That would be very bad. And I was there once with Nicholas, and I'm surely remember that day for the rest of my life, even though it won't be for the whole atmosphere. I live outside of town and spend a lot of time in my car, but at least I sleep in a warm bed, much better compared to the cramped bed at the workshop. Nicholas would even sleep in the smoking area, sitting. The road I used every day was called the Bear Trail. Got the name after that incident that occurred 10 years ago where the forest was scheduled for a cut down. Something went wrong on day one. Woodcutters were scared off by a ferocious roar, which, if one was to believe them, made the whole forest tremble and broke down their equipment. Someone even claimed to see a giant bear 6 meters tall. The higher-ups decided that the whole crew was drinking too much, so they hired a new one, but they also didn't last long. In the end, the idea of cutting down that forest was put off for an indefinite period of time. That time ended now. Brand new worker housing and equipment could be seen at the forest entrance. Woodcutting crews were smoking outside the canteen or staring at the thicket. While I was skeptical towards these kind of tales, I was still somewhat intrigued by them. Like a child who knew that Santa Claus wasn't real, but still waited for presents to magically appear under the tree every year. Obviously, Nicholas warned me about everything before handing out the keys to the house. I was a regular guest at his place and had never seen a 6 meter tall bear. Oh, really? According to my calculations, a bear of this size wouldn't be able to move unhindered in such a thick forest. No less hide in it. Normal bears would be another matter entirely. I met them quite often, so I put myself in the gun. One time I had to sit locked in my car for 2 hours straight. I waited until the bear would stop trying to break into the car and go its own way. I even waited 30 more minutes to make sure it wasn't coming back. I had another such guest today. It was obvious from the tracks still fresh in the snow. Giant paws led straight to my front door. The veranda was empty. Don't know why I said it like that. I listened closely. There was no unnecessary sound, only spruces crackling from the cold. Oh. Hello? Okay. I threw my gun over the shoulder, snatched the plastic bags, and ran towards the house. The beast was probably still nearby, searching for shelter or food. I had no intention of providing it with either, be it the ham I carried or my own meat. The lock was intact, as was the door, which meant I didn't try to break into the house. Maybe it just went over the rails and continued on. Is that Gravity Falls hat? It must be, yeah, it's Dipper from Gravity Falls, the kid. I locked the door from the inside and looked out the window. I caught a glimpse of something moving between the tree trunks in the distance. I quickly persuaded myself that this was the beast disappearing back and sighed with relief. My numb hands were difficult to control. Magazines and tissues flew into the fireplace. They would be perfect fuel to start the fire. It took me 7 matches to be successful, though. My fingers tingled a little, but it seemed like I wouldn't lose my hands just yet. Still some fire left in me. The moment I said that, darkness descended upon me with a clank. I woke up from the pain in the back of my head, and that meant I was knocked out by something heavier than a simple headache. Plot twists already. The clank came from my lifesaver in the field of scrambled eggs and fried potatoes, a cast iron frying pan. Someone who uses things like that for not so gentle persuasion certainly doesn't have any good intentions. Please no. My vision gradually came back. For a while I couldn't make out the clear silhouette behind the colourful mess, but then I saw a girl crouching before me, with a gun in her hands. My gun. I was staring down its barrel and the girl was staring at me. intently, without blinking. Well, not much fire left now. The finger that was clutching the trigger had moved, and I shut my eyes, ready to pass on to the other side, but the shot never came. The girl was hindered by her mittens. The gun constantly slipped out of her hands. She tried to get a firmer grip on it, risking to blow my head clear off every time she did that. Her eyes were accusing me of some heinous crime, and I felt deeply ashamed, even though I didn't know exactly how I wronged her. She kept on being silent. I had no words either. It's pretty cold outside, isn't it? Please don't kill me. Care for some tea? What a way to start the conversation. The ringing in my ears wasn't helping either. Hello? I tried to make the first step. The girl's eyes went wide, but she clutched the gun even harder. Did I do something wrong? I don't know. Yet. Her voice was full of seething hostility, as if the gun pointed at my face was enough to show her intentions. And you'll never know if you shoot me. Do you take me for a murderer? I think my statement just made her furious. You. The majority of my forehead is the barrel of that gun. So I don't, of course. Okay, then why do you keep that thing pointed at me? I just don't know what to expect from you. I can assure you I didn't plan anything criminal. I just wanted to come back home and... Is this the bear corner? I figured it was futile to argue about being interrupted. The name caught my attention. I remembered Nicholas giving the house that name when it was still in the planet phase. That's right. Why do you call it your home? Because I do live here. She stared at me with distrust. Please, would you lower that gun? It would make the conversation so much more comfortable for the both of us. She hesitated for a moment, but then swiftly grabbed the pan and rushed to the other side of the room. No sudden moves. That's not how she said it at all. Can I at the very least stand up? She curtly nodded, and I slowly stood up. My ears were ringing and my brain felt like mashed potatoes, even though I couldn't feel any bumps on my head. Feel or find. Now she was eyeing me cautiously. I could move freely and was much larger and stronger than her. I kept my distance so I wouldn't scare her into doing something rash and unreasonable. She didn't look like a thief or a harmless person in general, but that didn't explain what business she had in these parts. Let's start from the beginning. My name's Andrew. I've been living in this house for 5 years, and today I drove here in my car. I unlocked the door with my key, like I always do, and got hit over the head with a frying pan. What's your story? 5 years? Come on, couldn't you at least give me a name? How is that possible? And what about... She sank to the floor, colour draining from her face. It can't be. My lady guest gave the room a look over and started crying. I was too late. Okay. Her every sob echoed painfully inside my head. It was almost as if my eardrums were being scratched by sandpaper. I tried to gather my thoughts, but they were scattering about like frightened rabbits. Yeah, she's Nicholas's daughter. Right? Yeah, whatever. I had to give her credit for still holding up onto that frying pan, though. Can I help you in any way? How long ago? No. The previous owner. Where can I find his workshop? She had to squeeze the words out of herself. They were basically drowning in a sea of tears. When I was finally able to piece the puzzle together, it hit me. Too late. She presumed him to be dead. It all made sense now. There was no way a random person can find in this house and worry about some stranger. I think there's some sort of misunderstanding. Nicholas is alive and well. He's just not living here anymore. The sobs stopped. Now only hiccups disturbed the silence of the room. I was almost ready to relax, but the house shook from another wave of tears. What a relief. Please stop crying. Everything is fine. I was never taught how to deal with situations like this. How should I calm her down? Did she have some sort of switch for that? A stop word, maybe? I wanted to help her up, but she went completely silent as soon as I took a single step. An eerie silence. Even the hiccups were gone. Keep your distance. I took a step back. She resumed crying. I took a step forward. She was silent once again. You're playing with fire. I'm still the one with the gun. Hey, let's do this without threats. I just wanted to help you. It's not a good idea to sit on the cold floor. She sprang to her feet. Now can you move away? As you wish. Not very sociable, are you? Well, sorry for not letting total strangers into my personal space. And for the two of us, I believe you're the one who decided to seclude yourself in the middle of the forest, so who are you to comment on my social skills? I wanted to retort, but my thoughts were cut short by a strange sound. My guest was obviously hungry. You might hear that, alright? Where do I find Grandpa? Is he in town? He lives in an old workshop. It's on... She shut the door on me. Such poor manners. Did she just up and leave? Checked inside my pockets. The car keys were there. The gun and the pan were also left behind. What a crazy woman. Mind telling me where are you going? I caught up to her near the fence. To town. No hesitation. You're Julie, right? Nicholas's granddaughter. I don't remember telling you my name. Well, clearly I know you're his granddaughter. Of course I'm going to know your name. Yeah, it was very nice to meet you as well. Are you stalking me? Just a heads up. You were the one to sneak into my house. I'm glad it was just me. Why are you following me? I think I owe you an apology? No, that wasn't my intention at all. Alright, so, I didn't have to attack you there. I was scared, that's all. You did it from behind, with a frying pan. I'm sorry, I really am. I don't need your apologies. What do you want? Are you a predator or something? Did you leave your car nearby? No. Actually, I'm not sure. Not sure. How will you get to town without it then? On foot. Listen, I don't know how you got here, but we're kind of in the middle of the forest. The town is at least 30 kilometers away, so if you don't come back to the house, there's a high chance you'll get lost. Julie just chuckled in reply. You'll get eaten by a bear or simply freeze to death. I'll be okay. I'm safe here. Why are you so sure? Mysterious silence followed. Turned back. My house was already hidden behind a row of trees. The snowfall was so heavy I couldn't see a thing. It was dangerous to venture any further. Besides, I wasn't wearing much in the cold. Was starting to get to me, I say. Hey, it's not like I know the forest that well, and someone shrieked behind me. Julia slipped up and rolled down a small hill. Neither do you, it seems. She stood up and brushed the snow off her clothes. The trail is supposed to be a shortcut, if I remember correctly. You don't seem extremely confident. Let's get back to the house and think it out. Believe me, travelling on foot is a bad idea. And why should I trust you? Because it's a reasonable thing to do, no? She gave me a scrutinizing look. Let's go. Pops would never forgive me if I knew I let you go. Why Pops? What do you mean? You guys close enough for you to call him that? We're colleagues and friends. You should have said that earlier. There was no trace of hostility left in Julia's facial expressions. So that's who Grandpa was friends with. It was almost as if she was happy to see me now. I was only a friend, really. Why? I promise to tell you everything, but let's just return to the house first. When I was little, we would always take walks here. There should be a shortcut around here. I don't know where it is, and you don't seem to remember either. Pop said there would be a blizzard and advised me to be careful. Well, it's not that cold yet. Was she that brave or just plain stubborn? But if Grandpa said there would be a blizzard, we should probably stay inside. She nodded and flashed me a charming smile. Let's go. Sure, you seem to be hungry. Pizza? I'd love to have some. No lights? Oh! This house is so nice. I'd love to live here. Just in this area. I'll go back a second. Just look at this area. It's beautiful. It was warm and cozy inside. Luckily I managed to lit up the fireplace before getting smacked over the head. You should get closer to the fire, warm yourself up. Quite easy to lose your limbs to hypothermia in these parts. I have this winter hat and these mittens. You're the one neglecting your own health. Oh, everything just happened so quickly. I hope you don't mind if I put the guns somewhere more safe. I mean, of course, I'm really sorry. If I knew you were a friend, I wouldn't have acted that way. Should I write it on my face? The girl laughed. Maybe you should. I took you for a burglar at first. Julie had already taken off her coat and was straightening up her sweater. I was finally able to take a good look at her. She was pretty, and thank heavens didn't inherit any features from Pops, apart from the eyes. Burglar who comes here by car opens the house with a key and gets inside to warm himself up. How did you decide to arm yourself with a gun? I'm always a bit confused when it comes to my senses. Sometimes it makes me do or say strange things. The house hadn't changed much, so I assumed that Grandpa still lived here and you were a nasty trespasser. Like, nasty. This is so stupid. It's true that I had no chance to remodel the house. I was always a bit tight on time. By the way, what do you mean by when I come to my senses? I took a pizza from the fridge and shoved it in the microwave. It's a bit complicated. A very long story, so to speak. We have plenty of time on our hands. She heaved a deep sigh. Promise me you won't laugh. I've been sleepwalking since I was 13. We would just go outside and sit out in a random direction. It was a sight to behold for people passing by. It was impossible to wake me up. Almost absolutely impossible. So someone would just lead me to a safe place. The police or the hospital. Nothing to laugh at so far. I can stop if you want. No, please continue. So, my parents decided to put me under lock and key. They set up cameras and locked the door to my room. Mum even showed me the records once. I just stood up in pitch black darkness and turned the doorknob. It was so spooky. I bet it was. The seizures continued for a while and suddenly stopped. It seemed like the other me, who was taking control at night, gave up. I forgot about the night strolls for a while. As did my parents. My habits returned when I started living alone next October though. I used to wake up in the forest or the lakeside, a long way from home, sometimes even tens of kilometers away. And now I'm here. And where are you from? Orenburg. What? That's Orenburg from the southern border? Really? It's at least 2,000 kilometers away. Is pizza ready? Ah, that's right. Took out the plate and handed it to Julia. She carefully took a slice of pizza and put it in her mouth. It's so hot. No need to rush. So, you came all the way from Orenburg? Seems like it. How did you get here? I don't know. What's the date, by the way? December 31st. Julia's mouth went agape and she dropped the slice she was holding. You must be joking. I swear. Oh my god, I was away for a month. Do you really expect me to believe you got in a month, sleepwalking all the way? My parents must be worried sick. What a disaster. I sighed. The story was hard to believe. Yeah, it really is. I have to call Mum. I'll say that I went to see my friends in the country. She of all people wouldn't know I have no friends like that. I seem to have lost my phone, to boot. My head was splitting open with pain again. You can use mine. Just please, calm down. Really? I owe you one. Julia clutched the phone and ran outside and finally picked up the plastic bags that were sitting by the front door. Oh, the chicken was already falling. The place had us. Hope Julia didn't wander into the forest again. Her muffled voice could be heard from the outside. She was saying something about the boonies, bad reception and memory lost. I had to call Pops and ask him to pick her up. I'd almost forgotten how busy I was myself. How much I needed done before Mum came to visit. I didn't even know how soon she was going to come. Got to contact her as well. Julie returned visibly exhausted. Well, it didn't go that bad. I was able to persuade her that I'm alright. What a nightmare. A month of my life just poof, gone. I bet she was expecting you to come for New Year's Eve. My parents don't celebrate. They don't even set up a tree. They're always going away on business trips. I don't spend that much time home anyways. And that means I'm always alone during the holidays. I still love that time of the year though. But at least it's nice your mum worries about you. Isn't that true for every mum? Not for mine, at the very least. Julia wanted to say something but hesitated. She probably had more questions but was afraid to sound rude. Which was rather amusing considering she was the one to smack me with a frying pan just a while ago. Do you want to call Pops? He'd be delighted to hear you. Yeah, I probably should. I miss him so much. I miss him, like, so much. Wait, what we surprise him? Wouldn't your presence here be enough of a surprise? I mean, is there a chance I can see him? Out of the question. The trip would take too much time and I'm expecting guests. Sorry, that was brazen of me. Not as brazen as pointing a gun in my face. Though I had to admit, her confidence level dropped at least twofold from the fateful moment of our meeting. Now she just kept on fixing her hair. It was probably too harsh. No, not at all. I'd drive you there any other day. You're Nicholas's granddaughter after all. But today, I understand. Julia rubbed her brow. Do you mind if I make a call? No problem. Shall I leave? You don't have to. I just need to check on something real quick. Julia nodded. I dialed Mum's number and turned away reflexively. I didn't expect much. I wasn't even sure if she'd pick up. I was ready to hang up and shoot her a message when the call suddenly connected. Hello? Hi. Hi. Cold as ever. When will you be coming? Well, as soon as I finish. Got it. Andrew? What? Are you alright? And are you genuinely interested? Everything's fine. Be careful on the road. There's gonna be a blizzard. I dropped the call as she was saying something. This would put her in my shoes for once. I hid my trembling hands into the pockets, turned back, and was met with a judgmental look on Julia's face. I hope you weren't talking to your mum right now. Oh, and you're gonna teach me how you deal with my own mother? Seems to me like you hate her. Don't blow it out of proportion. And don't look at me like I'm some sort of monster. You don't have the full picture. I'm only talking about what I see, and I'm more than willing to listen to your side of the story. No, you're talking about something you have absolutely no idea about. Do I look like I need a shoulder to cry on? I'm not going to pity you. She gazed at me intently. I couldn't suppress a nervous smile. As you wish. Seems like it's easy for you to open up to a rock rather than to another human being. It'd be a shame to let someone know you can be vulnerable, right? She extended her hand toward me, waiting for the phone. We'll have to do without surprises. What's going on? Am I really that repulsive? My relationship with Mum is my own business. Why would I confide to a stranger? I'm not even worried. Who cares about what she thinks? I surely don't. Maybe. Some time passed, but Julia wasn't coming back. She was so lively while talking to her mum, but now I couldn't hear a thing. I'd clearly made a mistake. Julia had nothing to do with me and Mum not getting on well. I was straight up rude. She most likely meant no harm. And she had Pop's blood in her. It would also scold me all the time. Hope she won't take everything to heart. Still, that look in her eyes. Did she despise me so much? The front door opened without a sound. Cold wind made my skin tingle. Julie's face was red for some reason. Everything okay? Yeah, I guess. So I went a bit too far. Didn't mean to offend you. I'm sorry as well. I should have minded my own business, so it's my own fault. She covered her face with her hand. Something wrong? No, I mean, I'm fine. How's Pops? Did you talk to him? Yeah, you were right. He was delighted to hear me. Said he'd come as soon as he finishes some business at the workshop. What's the deal this time? I thought we finished everything by now. Julia averted her gaze. I didn't pry. Well, anyways, that's good news. If you wish, you could... Can I use your bathroom? Huh? Sorry, it may sound strange, but I don't remember the last time I took a shower. It would also be called to do some laundry. Sure? Yeah. It's on the second floor. Well, you should already know that. Bathrobes and such are in the closet, fresh towels are on the left, and if you want a hairdryer, I think I'll manage. Sorry for the trouble. She nodded in gratitude and went upstairs, trying to hide a beet red face under her hair. I shook my head. What happened to her? She didn't want to so much look at me a minute ago, and now? Did Pops tell us something about me? That old geezer gossiping again. I mean, it's not like I wanted her to hate me. She was acting rather cute. Besides, did she just go to shower knowing there's no one but me in a 50-kilometre area? I'm a sort of barbarian, but a man nonetheless. Me being friends with Pops was not a reason to be so relaxed. That is what that said, right? Not a soul barbarian, but a man nonetheless. Me being friends with Pops was not a reason to be so relaxed. I also hoped she wouldn't open the bottom drawer. It shooed away any awkward thoughts. I should have offered her a change of clothes. My washing machine could dry, but it would take a lot of time. But I also really wanted to see in one of my t-shirts. It was hot inside. I needed to air out the room and clean up a bit. I just noticed how messy my place was. It's hard to spot the mess when it gradually grows, but now, looking at it with fresh eyes, I understood the full magnitude of the tragedy. My workplace was buried beneath wood chips, garbage bags were sitting in my room for ages. I was so used to stepping over them that I had no longer noticed them. All of my dishes were in the sink, rather than on the shelves, soaking in still water. Wait, was that mold growing over there? I felt so disgusted by myself. Good thing my mum wasn't here to witness this nightmare. Started with the kitchen. Gathered everything that missed the garbage bin due to my impeccable aim. Washed all the dishes and went over to the shelves with a wet cloth. It actually felt quite refreshing. Thus, it seemed to be ages old, even though I was sure I cleaned the house just a month ago. You could drown in filth just by being in this house for a while. When I finished cleaning the first floor, my truck's trunk was filled with 8 garbage bags, one of which was filled strictly with plastic bottles. Oh! There was much less garbage on the second floor, probably because I barely visited it, so all I needed to do was getting rid of the dust and whipping up the windows. Got to work, and after some time I heard the shower door creak a little. Welcome back. Thanks. Done a good job. When I lived here back in the day, we used to boil water specifically to shower. Ah yeah, the good old days. Every modern household has their own personal boiler. I see. Did you find everything? Yeah, I knew a washing machine could dry, but never tried it myself. Had to dig the manual for some info. This was bad. She did open the bottom drawer after all. Now that was awkward. Julia was blushing again. I wanted to throw myself out of the window. She stood still and studied the whole floor for what felt like an eternity. Then she finally spoke up. You've been cleaning. Good idea. Can I help you somehow? There's really no need to. Please, I've nothing to do until Grandpa comes anyway. At least that way I'll do something useful. I was grateful for her attempt to dispel the awkward atmosphere, so I decided not to protest. Well, it would be great if you could dust the pillows lying in the corner, behind the curtains. Julie lifted the curtains. It's my nest. Your nest. I used to drag everything I deemed interesting in here, so my grandma called me a magpie. In this place, she called my nest. This was my bedroom. Isn't it a bit cramped for a bedroom? As if you'd understand. This was a royal chamber for a little girl. So, let's get to it. Do you think it's a good idea to go outside just after the shower? Well, it's just for a bit. The clothes dry much faster when you wear them. Pops will blame you if you catch a cold. You act like an old man. What are you, 80? You look like you're in your early 20s. Don't tell me you've never jumped into snow after the banya. I never had, as a matter of fact. I gave up. Julia escaped up the pillows and ran downstairs. I was rummaging through the closet when I heard a strange sound coming from outside. Julia threw the pillows around, beating them against each other, covered them in snow, and kept on sneezing. I could hardly call it dusting, but I couldn't help but smile since she was so enthusiastic about it. Then my phone rang. It was my mum. My teeth clenched voluntarily as hard as a bear trap. I didn't pick up. Not because I didn't want to talk. Quite the contrary. I wanted to vent everything I was holding in for 8 years. I wanted to shower with all my anger and spite. I was sure I'd feel better. But I chickened out. I was afraid that I would regret it. Why are you so gloomy? You're cold. I didn't notice her come back. Good thing I didn't pick up and she didn't hear what was on my mind. Judy was strangely worried about my problems. Wrong number. You done? Sir, yes, sir. Actually, no. Snowflakes sparkled in her hair. I'll clean out the nest. Promising me you won't go in until I've finished, okay? Sure thing. She disappeared behind a curtain, humming some unfamiliar tune. I go back to my own duties, then I heard something crack. What are you doing there? Peeling off wallpaper? Mind your own business. So I shouldn't worry. No reaction. I was going over the shelves when she'd finally stopped struggling. Can I go in now? Not yet. But you seem to be finished. I'm most certainly not. Wait a bit longer. Scrub the floor for now. I stepped on something here. What arrogance. Yet the floor was definitely needed some scrubbing. That's all. Go in. I looked behind the curtain. Julie was lying on her back straight. The light from the old lamp was trembling slightly, as if it would die out at any moment. Wow, you aligned the pillows. Good job, good job. Come here. She patted the pillow beside her. I shot her a quizzical look. Hey, I'm not suggesting anything strange. Come on, lie down. Don't be afraid. I'm not the one who should be afraid. I called towards Julie without arguing. Hey, be careful of my hair. Sorry. Are you ready? I shrugged, not exactly sure what to expect. She flicked the switch. Wow. The lights went out in a second. The oblique ceiling was lit up with a bunch of strange colours. Gasped in surprise. I did peel off the wallpaper, yeah. What's this? How? Fluorescent paint. When I was little, Grandma used to draw with me a lot. This wall, or rather, ceiling, became my canvas. Did you know she was an artist? No, Pops always closes off when he remembers her. Do all men find it so hard to open up? Look, there's a squirrel in the corner. We met it in the forest, and I drew this on the same day. Look, it looks like a rat. Well, all rodents look alike. What's up with its tail? Stop it. I was really bad at drawing back then. I still am, to be honest. Such a nice one. Julia's drawings were easy to spot, uneven, scrawny with a lot of unwanted details. And her grandmother's were the exact opposite, simple but artsy. And who's this girl riding a bear? You? Julia mumbled something to herself. I don't remember. Maybe. Grandma drew that. Why did you cover them up? Julia sighed. When she died, I couldn't sleep here, so I always went downstairs to Grandpa, who was working through the night to get his mind off things. He put a wallpaper over the paintings to ease my pain as well, but I just couldn't force myself to come back. Do you miss her? I see her in my dreams fairly often. I even talk to her. Sometimes it's very hard to wake up. Julia sniffled. She did it as quietly as possible, but I was too close to miss her. I could feel the smell wafting from her hair, warm and fuzzy, an aroma unlike any shampoo. Now it's your turn to tell me a story. Now it's your time to tell me a story. She was trying to be upbeat and cheerful, but a trembling voice gave her away. My turn, huh? What story can I tell? What's up with her mum? Sounds like an insult. Look, it's a very long story. Hey, my 2 stories are fairly long as well. Can't you give me that one in return? 2? What was that? My grandmother? Am I sleepwalking? She was right. I heard a lot about Julie even before we met. And now I knew even more, but I was still a complete mystery to her. I liked listening to her speak, and it was only fair to return the favour. And sharing my honest thoughts wasn't such a bad idea, was it? Probably. Where do I start? Start from the beginning. How did you 2 meet? Oh, it was on a sunny summer day. Julie burst into laughter, the tension hanging in the air, was gone in a flash. We talk about mother. What do you mean, how did me? I came out of her, buddy. So, I had a wonderful family, to be frank. I was sure of it. Such a warm and loving family was very rare among my peers at the time. Dad tried to spend most of his free time with me, and Mum always supported him. I was the happiest boy on the planet. Every day was fantastic, and I couldn't imagine it being any other way. Julia held her breath, listening closely. Then Dad was gone. The magic atmosphere went away with him. I was 14 at the time. Ah, the difficult age. Turned out, the boys who weren't as pampered as me matured a lot faster. I was an outcast, too soft and naive. Dad's death became a catalyst for their bullying. Children tend to be cruel, you know. True. I later understood they were jealous. They thought I was feeling superior and didn't want to hang out with them since I had my ideal family. And when it became not so ideal, they gloated over it. Did you really feel superior? Maybe. I was extremely proud of my dad. He was an air pilot. Sometimes he picked me up from school right after the landing. He wore his awesome uniform, a coat with 4 golden stripes on his sleeves and a pilot cap. Couldn't be happier at the time. And that may have been the problem. You shouldn't show off your happiness to someone who's less fortunate. And your mum? My mum basically disappeared. She She had it working after my dad had passed away. We would not see each other for weeks sometimes. She came home and I was already in bed. She went to work while I was still asleep. I was only reminded of her presence by the fact she constantly left some food on the table. I thought that the common agreements would unite us, but it put us farther and farther apart with each passing day. Our relationship was reduced to occasional phone calls and silent weekend breakfast. I started skipping school because of the bullying. My grades dropped. She was informed of that, but hadn't said a single word to me. And I would have been happy if she shouted at me or had shown concern in any other way. I stopped, trying to get rid of the icky, unpleasant feeling from my memories of the day that grew increasingly sad and lonely. Julie didn't rush me. Then I ran away from home. I didn't plan to, it just turned out that way. One day I came home from school after a good thrashing and called her. I wanted to spill everything to her. I wanted to tell her the bullies. I didn't care if the whole school thought I was hiding behind my mum. I just wanted her to help. I wanted to help much more than to stop the bullying itself. She could have at least said something to encourage me. But she just dropped the call. She said she was probably busy. But I felt so betrayed knowing that your most precious person didn't have time for you. I left my phone, gathered my things, and took off. How old were you at the time? 16. What happened next? I spent a couple of nights at the train station, then signed up for a hearing job. I was lucky to find a company that helped me rent an apartment. After 2 weeks, my boss told me there was a search going on for me. I met with Mum. She asked me if everything was alright. She didn't even flinch. I told her how I felt. That was much better than before. She gave me my phone, a bit of cash, and left for good. End of story. But it's certainly not the end, considering you're waiting for her to visit. I don't expect much. Does that have anything to do with your trembling hands? So you've noticed. That wasn't intentional. Well, it may have played a part. Julie was deep in thought and I was finally able to sigh in relief. It was hard to share personal stuff like this, but it was even harder to keep it pent up inside. I never told Pops the whole story, because that would look unmanly. It would look childish. Nonsense. There's nothing childish about sharing your problems with other people. In fact, being childish is not an offence either. Being an adult is far worse. So that's why Pops is like that. Like what? Very infantile. I'm glad to hear it, if you're not hinting at Alzheimer's, of course. We both laughed at the same time. You know, sometimes I find it very hard to understand my parents, especially Dad. He never once visited Grandma since the time he left. Even when she got sick, he didn't go to the hospital or to her funeral. I thought I would never forgive him for this, but I did eventually, and still I couldn't quite understand him. Grandpa didn't say a thing. I'd be furious if I was him. He was so calm and collected, as if it was the way things were supposed to be. I always thought that there was something adults know that we don't, and as soon as we get that knowledge, we become adults ourselves. A woman child, 23 years of age. Hey, it's rude to remind a lady of her age. Young and pretty, isn't it the best time for that? She swallowed her words. Was she embarrassed? I wanted to turn my gaze towards her, but my vision was limited by how dim the light was. Anyway, it's not that simple. Julia continued the conversation. When I graduated school, we had a huge fight with Dad. And Miss Grandpa wanted to come here, and he insisted I enter the university. I cried a lot and said some really stupid things, but he still heard me out. When I calmed down, he hugged me real tight and said that I was just like my grandma. That was the only time he ever did something like that. He and my mum, they always thought strong emotions to be something unnecessary. I think being like them means being an adult. At that moment, I understood just how deeply he loved her and how hard it was on him. I mean, everyone has their own way of dealing with grief and showing support. Your mum certainly didn't care about you, since she was always cooking you breakfasts. And how should she have known you needed her when you didn't even tell her about it once? It's cool when someone can understand you without words, but try to get into her shoes. She was supporting your family by herself after she'd lost your dad. You expect support from her, but you didn't consider that she also needed it. She never said anything. And so did you. She organized a search for you. She was worried that something might have happened to you, and you told her you were better off without her. What was she supposed to feel? Her husband passed away, and her only Son turned his back on her. It's a miracle she was tough enough to carry that cross. Julia's voice trembled a bit. My eyes stung a bit. You should know what it's like to lose someone precious. Then why would you force other people to live through it, not to mention your own mum? I've never looked at it that way. Try not to say anything you would regret from now on, okay? Yeah. It's a promise then. It's a promise. She sniffled loudly. Good to hear. Julia was about to get up, but I gently touched her shoulder. Let's stay here for a little while. I didn't want her to see my face right now. Julia returned to her spot without arguing. There's also nothing eternally wrong with crying, you know. Yeah, I get it. I looked up at the many drawings, and one in particular caught my eye. Shades of violet and pink, a giant bear, reaching up to the sky, and the forest that was hardly reaching the bear's belly. It felt like it was staring right at me. The silence was broken by sounds coming from Julia's stomach. Oops. It's time to go downstairs. You think so? I'd love to chill some more, but if I don't cook something for you right now, I'll be consumed by guilt. Who are you? I crawled my way outside. Julia followed suit. The sun had almost hidden behind the tree tops. It's getting dark. Pop should hurry. Your mum as well. Does it really end? If there's your mum as well. There's really going to be a blizzard tonight. To be perfectly honest, there's nothing about that in the forecast. I don't know why Pop decided it's going to happen. It's a bit windy, but nothing to constitute a blizzard. If Grandpa said it's going to happen, it's going to happen. Why are you so sure? He has a gift. The forecast weather? To see the future. He would beckon me to look out the window sometimes, and I did that just to see the aurora borealis appear right before my eyes. I don't know how he did that to this day, but I don't doubt his words. I smirked. Being so naive at her age was rather cute. Pops just probably could tell despite his bones aching. Do you know what the aurora borealis is? Just solar dust grinding away our atmosphere. It's a mighty malicious thing. And did you know you're a complete bore? Insult me some more and you'll be left starving. I'll eat some snow. We kept on arguing until we reached the kitchen. I had a couple pieces of pizza and some pasta with sausages in terms of ready food lying around in the fridge. Other than that, it was stuffed with canned food, vegetables and raw meat. Pizza or pasta? And I'll put it in a bowl. Well, let's start with pasta. Start? Come on, I'm practically starving here. Come to think about it, you were wondering about for a month without any food. It's a mystery how you managed to survive. It's my normal diet. Very bold statement. Now that explains everything. What do you mean? The fact that you eat so much, you accumulate nutrition and use it sparingly. Like a bear? Yeah, don't be shy. Heat up. Julie started consuming food with enthusiasm, but her face contorted right away. And what master chef, may I ask, cooked this? It was me. What about it? How in the world did he manage to ruin something as simple as pasta? I scooped some pasta with a fork. It smelled and tasted ordinary. Seems fine to me. I ate it with no problem at all. Poor creature. Must be tough living your life with no idea of how real food tastes. Oh, don't blow it out of proportion. Are you going to cook for your mum as well? Of course. Stop making that face. It's not that bad. Besides, it's not like I'm forcing you to eat it. I'm okay, thank you. I'll at the very least save someone else from the suffering. How nice of you. Just keep in mind, if I get sick, you'll be the one to blame. Or your gluttony. Shut up. Stop speaking with a mouthful. Also, did you know that your metabolism slows down as you age? With eating habits like that, you'll be ugly and incredibly sick when you get old. Bowing. I rummaged into my pocket and pulled out a key. Right, I almost forgot. Waff whiz. Speak after you, Cho. Julia grumbled in protest. It's a cellar key. Pops gave it to me a while back. Never knew that a cellar even existed. Never moved any of the furniture here after all. Julia had finally finished the sausage. Grandma used to store sacks of grain and potatoes there, and picked vegetables. I hope there's Yeah, that was once edible. As far as I know, Pops keeps all sorts of garbage there, New Year tree ornaments included. Julie's eyes turned big as plates. Now what? Can I help you decorate the house? Please, 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 buddy, please. Alright, you're a holiday for children enthusiasts. I haven't decorated a New Year tree in ages. I almost forgotten. Smell. There's plenty of them outside. Go have a sniff. Meanie. I thought Pops would pick you up by now, to be honest. Gotta call him. It's coming up to an hour. It's better than I thought this would be. So I'll save it there and I'll continue the story next time.